Ladies and gentlemen, you guys all know I am a huge wrestling nerd. Yes, a nerd. Up next, we have Anthony Bowens. He is currently the All Elite Wrestling World Trios Champion. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I am having a good time today. It's my first radio row. I'm actually energized. I've had a long week of travel. Finally got a good night's sleep, so I'm very happy.
Anthony, I love gold. I'm like gold member in Austin Power. I love gold. Can you lift that up for? Oh, look at
sure.
that thing. Oh, look at that.
Look how hot and sexy this belt
Oof!
is.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. That is just a thing of beauty. Look at that. Can you talk so far about when did you find? And we're starting in deep. When did you fall in love with wrestling?
That would be 1997. I saw Sting on TV. They were doing commercials for Starrcade 97, which was him versus Hulk Hogan. I was like, who's this guy with the face paint? And he's in this warehouse, and he's got this baseball bat. Like, so cool. Excuse me. And then I watched the match, and I was hooked ever since. And, I was one of the typical fans, channel flipping, going back and forth to each company back then, and it just couldn't get out of my system.
Can you believe at his age, one, you're in the same company as him, and two, he's still throwing himself off of ridiculous, like he's still doing ridiculous stunts at his age.
Sting is the absolute man, and to have somebody like that who I grew up idolizing, one, have him as a coworker, two, to have his respect and approval of my work is just, it's a dream come true. I had a little full circle moment with him because that show, Starrcade 97, was in Washington, D.C., and on my wrestling anniversary in Washington, D.C., we main evented Dynamite against Sting. And it was so cool.
I bet. And you know what? Right now, one of your trios is Billy Gunn. Everybody knows about Billy Gunn. I mean, he's a veteran in the business.
Daddy asked you. Oops, am I not allowed to curse?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want on here. Es tu casa. It's your house. You can do whatever you want.
Gracias.
Oh, there you go. What has it meant to have somebody like Billy Gunn there? I mean, I don't know if helping you out. I mean, when you have a veteran presence, it really feels like that's a guiding hand who can help you, especially grow in the business.
I call him a beacon of light because he's so helpful. He's a fantastic resource. He's a wrestling encyclopedia. And what I like about him is he's open to questions, and he's open to challenging things. Like, I like to play devil's advocate all the time. Like, he'll throw out advice on a scenario, and I'll go, well, wait a minute, what if this, and this, and this happened? And he will go, huh, you're right. And then he'll adapt his advice and then end up being right anyway. So I appreciate being able to have those kinds of conversations with him and to learn and grow under his learning tree.
Max Caster is another one, the other person in your guys' group. Just how has that kind of relationship been with him?
Max is one of my best friends. I talk to him every single day. I appreciate having him as a tag team partner because I'm very creative. I have all these wacky, crazy ideas, a lot of which you've seen on television, if you're wondering where some of them come from. But he's a guy that I can be awake at 3, 4 in the morning and just go, I have this great, stupid idea, and text him, and I know he'll be awake on the other coast and get right back to me going, yeah, let's do it. So it's always good to have somebody that creative and that to have that kind of trust in you and trust in each other. And that's, I think, reason why we're have been so successful.
Do the three of you guys have a group chat, text group chat? And if so, what's that group chat called?
The group chat was named by Billy, and he calls it My Kids. We're his adopted kids. He loves us more than the Guns. I'm sorry to say that because I know we have the Bang Bang Scissor gang going on right now. We got a good thing going. AEW Trios champions. They're the Ring of Honor Trios champions, and we're taking over the wrestling business, baby.
What is it? What has that been like, having Ring of Honor and doing all that with AEW? What has that kind of been like?
It's cool to have them under our umbrella. I think they kind of work as it's a great opportunity for people to work on things, to get more reps. It's a fantastic company with great lineage, where a lot of our top guys have come from Ring of Honor back in the day. The Adam Coles, the Adam Hangman Pages, the Young Bucks, all the way back to Cody. So, lot of rich wrestling history in Ring of Honor.
When you look, what is it like working for somebody like Tony Khan? I mean, I kind of call him a mad scientist in a sense. Like, it feels like no matter if it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, you guys, all the Fulham even, it feels like they are always trying to be competitive. They always want to be the best. And I feel like he does a really good job with it. Just, can you speak about that?
Well, considering all the things that he does a fantastic job multitasking.
I wonder if he sleeps.
Barely. awesome to work for somebody who cares about you. He genuinely cares about his performers and takes care of us. So that's probably not, that's number one to me, one that understands that we're human beings at the end of the day. So it's been great to work with him the last 4 years. And, you know, he's the guy who created the Acclaimed, and it's been very cool to, I guess, make him proud. You know, we brought his vision to life in a very, very large way. And I think that's cool.
What's Anthony Corelli meant for you? Other people know him as Santino Marella back at the other production, but what is he kind of meant for you?
Santino. Well, he's the reason why. Yeah, with a Cobra. So way back in 2012, I had stopped playing college baseball, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, maybe pro wrestling, because I fell in love with it again around then, but I just didn't know where to go, where to start training, how to get that process going. And one day, wrestling was in town, and a lot of the roster went to the gym that I go to. And I went around, I called out of my classes in college, started taking pictures with people. And the last person that I was going to, actually, I wasn't going to go up to because he was in the middle of a set. I didn't want to be disrespectful. And my buddy was like, just go up to him. You'll never see this guy again. Like, he's not a wrestling fan because he just wanted to leave. I was dragging him around all day. So I went up to him. I asked him for a photo. And as I walked away, he stopped me and he said, hey, you look like a pro wrestler. Have you ever thought about becoming one? And I said, yeah, that's what I'm trying to like figure out right now. And he gave me the number to Pat Buck, who is trainer, owner at Creative Pro Wrestling Academy, and also a producer and EVP or vice president at AEW now, which is crazy. And I called him up. I started training the next week, and 12 years later, he's producing my matches on live television. So it all worked out perfectly.
Did he say it to you in the Santino Marella accent, or was it? Just
it was
normal?
in the accent, which was very funny to me.
So when you look at athletes who have, I mean, we know plenty of athletes who maybe like the NFL wasn't their thing, or Canadian football, or other sports, gymnastics, or stuff like that. And then they get sucked into the world of pro wrestling. Just what is that? How do you feel that feels like the lane of where this is all headed? I mean, it's happened in the past, but it looks like it's growing more and more common for former athletes from other sports to jump into pro wrestling. Is that the way you kind of see it?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it'll always go back to looking towards the independents, because there's only so many guys that are going to come from that world that will understand what we do. I mean, there's a ton of athletes, but like I've had tryouts with WWE where you're in there with all these, former football players and all these athletes from all walks of life, and they can't handle, running the ropes or rolling. They can't handle what we do. A lot were quitting. So there's only a handful that kind of come out of that on top. And at the end of the day, there's people who are grinding every single weekend on the independents in the wrestling schools and cutting their teeth, getting reps in the ring every single weekend. And I think that talent pool always is going to hold importance and be number one. At least for me, if I was running a company, that's what I would look first. I understand the appeal of having a super athlete and crossover stars, but to have that to be the main focus of recruitment for the future, I think would be a mistake.
I completely agree. So I know that you're a San Francisco Giants fan. Are
Huge.
Are you a 49ers fan as well?
So I'm mainly baseball and wrestling. But because I love the San Francisco Giants, I'm going to stick with the Bay Area sports, and I'll root for the 49ers this weekend at the Super Bowl.
Man, I'm just gonna say now, you do look like a former football player. Like that.
Well, thank you.
It just you're that big. So I thought you were a former football player, but that's awesome that you like baseball. What do you think about your new manager and Bob Melvin and everything? I covered the Padres last season, so I kind of know a little bit about. I know a little bit. Dodgers fans over here.
Whoa! What's wrong with you two?
I know a little bit about Bo Mel, as they call him, but is it an exciting time right now to be a Giants fan?
I'm always excited for the season. I know people get disappointed if they don't make big splashes during the offseason, although the Aaron Judge one kind of hurt my heart and soul. I'm kind of used to getting declined in free agency, but I'm always excited for the baseball season to start. I love that team. I've been a fan since the year 2000. I've been with them in defeat in the 2002 World Series all the way to becoming a dynasty in 2010, 12, and 14. I'm just excited to watch Giants baseball again, and now that I live in Los Angeles, guys. I'm hoping to get more time in San Francisco at Oracle Park and check out more games because I haven't been to that stadium, I think, since I was 14 in 2005.
Wow. Well, you've been a little bit busy.
Very busy.
Winning gold.
Lots of gold and a lot more to come.
Just what excites you about this year for you in pro wrestling?
Everything. I mean, the opportunities are endless. You know, each year we go into it creating goals for ourselves, but you never know what's going to happen. You know, you never knew how scissoring was going to explode, and then we're tag team champions, and then unfortunately we lost them in the beginning of 2023, but we ended it as trios champions. So there's so many opportunities, especially in AEW, coming up throughout the year, and I'm going to take advantage of all of them.
What has this journey been like for you? I mean, how would you assess your journey so far in the world of wrestling?
Special. Very, very, very special. I actually had a moment of gratitude this morning because I found myself complaining how expensive Vegas is. Like, I got to pay $7 for a Celsius for an energy drink to go to the gym. But then I stopped and I was driving by T-Mobile Arena. I was like, I headlined that arena, and then my name was on the marquee at the MGM Grand. Like, I live such a very crazy, special life that I've always dreamed of when I was a kid. I never use the word blessed, but my buddy Casey Navarro, that's his gimmick. He gets very angry at me when I say blessed. But I've been very blessed to do everything I set out to do, and I have so many other goals that I look to achieve, and I'm excited to go on that journey.
This weekend, Collisions in Henderson, Nevada.
Yes.
How exciting is that?
I have never been to Henderson before, so I'm excited to be there. But I think you should be excited in general as a fan because AEW always brings a very, very spectacular performance and show to any arena that we go to. Tickets are still available, AEWTix.com. That's Saturday night, February 10th in Henderson, Nevada, Darlone Arena. Go out, have some fun, and watch some AEW wrestling, guys.
Anything else you'd like to let the fans know about, or anything else?
Well, yeah, everyone loves the Acclaimed, and you should be scissoring all of your friends and family as much as possible. It's a sign of friendship. Get the dirty thoughts out of your mind, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, at Bowens_official. I'm now into the TikTok scene, unfortunately, so follow me at Bowens_official 37.
I kind of see it the same way. Unfortunately.
My manager says you need to be making TikToks. So I said, okay.
You're like, okay, let me slowly but surely. I still haven't learned completely all of it, but trying to get the hang of it. Anthony Bowens, 1/3 of the trio tag team champions for AEW.
That's right, baby.
Why don't you show a little bit, one more time that belt? Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing.
Just as sexy as I am. The Scissor King, Anthony Bowens.
Thank you so much.